You're such an asshole.
Hey everybody, we got a request from France. Okay, I must have gotten a request from France before, but I think this is the first one I can remember in a while, and his English is really good. Anyway, our young monsieur writes, "Hello, Captain. I'm 23 years old, and I currently work for the French Marine Nationale, which is their navy. My revenue is not high, €730 a month, because I chose a contract of 1 year as a voluntary, which will end in April. If I continue after my first year and go up in rank, depending on my location, I could make from €1,400 to €3,000 per month, and roughly, what's the exchange rate for our American friends? Euro to dollar. I think that it's 20% more valuable. All right, what is it? €1 equals $1. Yeah, 20% more. So it's $3,600 US, basically, or $1,600 US. As a human resources manager or secretary, I'm conflicted because I'd love to learn a trade, become a Boilermaker, and get my IRATA level 1 and working on offshore rigs. I really want to quit my country after the election of Macron. Nobody knows how to pronounce his name over here, and that's because we are ignorant Americans. I would like to find opportunity elsewhere, preferably in the oil and gas industry. I would like to know your take on my issue. Thank you in advance. Cordially," and I'm not going to mention your name since you are in the military. So then I asked him, like, well, give me some other benefits here about the French military. I know in the United States we pay for all this shit, but in France they pay for all that shit anyway. "Hi, Captain. For benefits from the French military, you have a pension after 17 years of service, and for the other benefits, well, you can make good money abroad on a ship. If you live in the base or the ship, you have no expenses whatsoever. Healthcare is free in France. The formation for becoming a Boilermaker is also free. I could save up until April to buy a used car, an old van, to be free to go and work anywhere I want. I did my research, and a Boilermaker can make up to €3,000 in France. So that's, I gotta do the math, it's about 40. Let me do the math. 3,600. And I know that's not on the oil rigs. I just want to see what we're talking about. Yeah, it's only 43 grand US. To finish, I have no debt and intend to be debt-free the rest of my life. Thanks in advance for your quick response. I will send you the money." Okay, here's the thing. I know it seems it's going to be forever away, but you're only 23 now. What are you? Are you 23? Yeah, you're 23. So you'll be 40. You'll be 40. You'll have a pension. I would just stay with the military. Now here's the reason I say that. Not only because it's a very short time. I know 17 seems like forever, but that's like working for the government. It's great. You can like retire very early. But also you want to live debt free, and nothing wrong with being a Boilermaker. Absolutely nothing wrong. But if you get free food and clothing and housing and health care, living on the boat or living on base, and you make this, you'll probably be debt-free for the rest of your life. You'll have saved up a fair amount of money, being frugal, being a minimalist, that by the time you're 40, you could probably just buy a house, and you could still become a Boilermaker. You could still do that at 40 if you stay in shape, you stay in good, you can maybe even get training, start teaching yourself, talk to one of the mechanics, hey, can you, or not mechanics, but Boilermaker, not pipe fitter, I'm confusing. Hang on, what is a Boilermaker? I'm thinking they're the guys that work on the heating systems. Boilermaker. Trained craftsmen produce steel fabrications for plates and tubes. Craftsmen who fabricate boilers, but they work at, okay, yeah, so a metalsmither or stuff, something like that. That's what I was looking like. They don't just work on boilers. Because you can always become a Boilermaker. You can't always join the military, let alone get a pension. All right? And if you didn't know, with the collapse in oil prices recently, we had an oil boom here in the United States, and then I was in our Bakken oil field, and that dried up. So it's also very susceptible to the prices of the international price of oil. Whereas you're always going to have the Navy. You're always going to need the French, I don't want to call it the Navy because that's not what you're calling it. You're always going to have the French Marine Nationale, or Nationale. So I would go with the for sure thing. I know it may not be what you really want to do. Maybe you can go and start working that. I mean, come on, Navy, they don't work on, you can't learn welding or something in the Navy? You don't think there's a program for that? I would stick with the Navy, play it safe, go, just do that, and then you can always become a Boilermaker later. And that will allow you to live your debt-free life. And it will be relatively easy. Actually, be quite. I know the military is not going to be easy, but it's going to be a lot easier than you strike out, you leave the military, and then you work for 2 or 3 years, and all the shop was ran real poorly, or the union was. I don't know if you guys got unions. I was ran real poorly, or all the industry goes out and you can't work on these offshore oil rigs. It's just, trust me, from an older guy, it's just gonna, and 40's gonna come up on you faster than you think. And you could be sitting there, sitting pretty, never having to work for the rest of your life, with a nice little pension, a nice little house that you saved up with all your money because you didn't spend anything. I mean, have fun, enjoy your life. And you could still become a Boilermaker. You can't become a sailor, or you can't join the French military when you're 40. I don't know if you can, but when you get too old, that opportunity will go away. So that's just me. Now, if you really, if you really hate the Navy, and you really, really want to become a Boilermaker, well, maybe you could think about it. But what I would think first, before you give up your opportunity with the Navy, is you go follow a Boilermaker around. You go find out what it's like to weld and work with steel. You see if that's something you really want to do. Because I'd hate for you to go to school and you learn that you hate it, and that you passed up this opportunity with the Navy, and now you don't know what to do. Now you're just like every other American millennial dipshit with their fucking worthless degree in their head, like, I don't know what to do. So I know it's maybe not what you have in your heart, but man, for everyone that's followed what they had in their heart and their passion, like, I'm not talking 9 out of 10, 95 out of 100, their lives are ruined. Their lives are hell. Because it's a very small percentage that get to live their dream. And I would not pass up on a sure thing. So, but try and do both. See if there's a program within the French Navy where you could learn to weld and work as a pipe fitter or a Boilermaker. So, all right, hope that helped out. Any of you guys have a question, contact the old captain over here in the United States. The world's older brother, not even the United States and Australia. We're going to go with the world. We get a guy from France. We get people from Germany and India. What the fuck? I'm the world's older brother. Go to assholeconsulting.com and we'll take care of you. We'll see you guys later. Toodles.